Welcome back, my tribe. I'm Destry from Knights of Light. Here presenting you today, shifting the paradigm. What I want to talk about today is the pursuit to happiness or the pursuit for happiness. So what do most of us think about happiness? How many out there think happiness is illusion? Raise your hand. How many think they don't deserve happiness or happiness doesn't even exist? They've never seen happiness, true happiness, or any sort of happiness really happen in life except as an emotion where it just kind of comes and goes and does what it kind of wants. It's its own free energy. And I'm pretty sure a lot of you have also heard happiness comes from within. That is very true. But how do we unlock the happiness within? What happens if we lost the key, don't know where it went, forgot, or don't remember what makes us happy? There's one statement I would like to put out there for you is happiness is not given. Happiness is earned. So we got to strive every day to find our passions, to find what really drives us to be actually happy. See, for a long time in my life, happiness came at the quick fix, whatever I could grab to make me happy. And it turned into like a serious drug addiction to where I was just putting pain on top of pain on top of pain and masking everything up where I didn't even know what happiness or any emotion really even was, or the true energy of happiness and what really drove me. And then when I started getting into this work, I really started thinking about happiness. You know, I follow a lot of other motivational speakers, a lot of spiritual workers, and that are in the same field that I am. And I was like, what is happiness? What drives people to get happy? How do we get people to a place to want to be happy? Because a lot of us sit in a place of we're content or life is just okay. But what that brings to us when we're in just a content space or everything is just okay, it puts us in a space, and if you really look deep down inside, we just have a fear of doing something because something might go wrong or life might turn upside down. So why not just stay here where everything's just all right? That's not what we're here for on earth, right? It's the human experience. We're supposed to experience life, not just kind of like float through it, hope that we get to the end and live into our 90s. What kind of life is that? We want to drive to be happy. We want to pursue that happiness so that by the time we are in our 70s and 90s, right, we don't have any regrets or resentments towards ourselves or resentments towards anybody else that we want to blame that we weren't happy, when in reality, when we do that, right, it's actually us who are keeping us from being happy. So let's look at your situations, or like my situations when I was sitting in different situations and I was just okay with life. And that worked in the beginning. I had to learn to just be okay. That I didn't need the chaos. I didn't need the constant things to make me angry or anything like that. But what happens when just being okay isn't enough anymore? Right? You get bored. Everything's like melancholy, and it's just kind of going on, and life every day is exactly the same. That gets boring. That puts people into a severe depression where they are not happy. And even when other people are like, your life is great, you should be happy. But when we're not aligned with our true selves, when we're not aligned to what we're supposed to do and what really drives us, it doesn't matter what's going on. We can be unhappy because we're not settling with the energy of what we truly want to do, with our dreams, with our passions, and really going out there and figuring out what makes us actually truly happy for this life. We can't just sit around and wait for happiness to all of a sudden come, or just one day wake up and be like, oh, everything's great. And you realize how I said that. I was like, oh, everything's great. It's okay. Like, me personally, I don't want to live a life like that. I want to go out there and keep pushing and finding new ways to help people. That's what I strive in. That's why I put out this YouTube channel and my Instagram and everything, to help people. And I want to help people find their passion, get through life, feel like their life was victorious by the time, we're done with this lifetime. Or else we're just going to keep repeating the same things. I don't want to be stuck in a constant loop from day to day and everything being constantly the same and doing the same thing over and over. Because if we realize when we do that and we start that just being content with life and everything that's going on and just kind of existing and floating through, that the happiness in those points only lasts for a certain amount of time. And I'm not also saying that you can be consistently happy. I mean, if you strive and you do what you want to do and you become happy with yourself and you find that key that really unlocks it, you will be happy from day to day. Honestly, you will be. You might have your bad days and your bad moods and everything, because we can't always get away from that. But in the whole scheme of things, we become proud of ourselves that we actually achieved what we truly wanted to, and we actually looked at life in a different perspective, and we started having experiences. We started having the human experience instead of the human existence. Everybody talks about human existence. That's a whole nother video. But I don't really like that terminology about the human existence, because we're supposed to experience. And when we start experiencing life and doing different things and fail here and do this, we actually become happy with our failures, because we actually start to realize that puts us in a whole nother direction, how to look at it, where to go, and what we really want to pursue. And even when we try to pursue different things, we might not always understand what it's truly developing to be, but we are happy inside the development of it because it makes us happy. This fire just starts to burn inside us. And one thing that is struggling with today in this life, and I've been looking at it, and it really just hurts to see it, is most people think, how many people out there, raise your hand or say I, or put it in the comments or whatever you want to do, feels like they can't afford to be happy? I mean, really, that's what this life kind of revolves around, and that's what we are being programmed to think, is that we can't afford to be happy. Well, if you're in that kind of mindset, that kind of paradigm, and you're sitting there in that kind of frequency, of course you can't afford to be happy. You can't even emotionally afford to be happy, because on all levels, you are just out of your abundance template. You are out of the abundance anything, because you think you can't afford it. And that's what we're programmed to think in this life right now. And that's what society keeps putting on us. If we grow up in certain areas, if we grow up in certain families or whatever, we can't afford to be happy because we become a product of our environment. I mean, there are so many stories out there of people who grew up in crazy environments, and they pursued and they found their happiness and they did what they wanted to, and they really found it, and they got out of that and didn't become a product of their environment. Like me, I refused to become a product of my environment. I did for a little bit, and I sat in that mindset and that programming and inside that paradigm, and I was truly unhappy, because I was programmed to think through TV and all these other things and the way life just happens today, to think that I could never be happy and I can never achieve all those great things because I grew up poor and I didn't come from a great family, or I didn't come to this great place or whatever like that. But now I'm striving, I'm pushing forward, and I'm out of that. I mean, I became a product of my environment, drank a lot, did drugs, just partied, and kind of thought the human experience was all about having that quick fix, like in the moment. But every day I woke up, I was severely unhappy, and I wasn't achieving really anything. I knew how to have fun in the moment, right? I was a really fun guy, but was that really making me happy, or was I just masking over what was really going on in my life, and I wasn't really pursuing what I wanted to pursue? I mean, of course, my experience is helping me now through what I experienced, and I can help other people achieve and figure out and how to try to get out of that mindset and that paradigm and that frequency and strive forward to really find their happiness. Because yes, happiness is an emotion, but what happens when you get on the happiness frequency for your own life and really want to achieve that for yourself, and you find that key, you mold that key, and you unlock it inside you, and you really find that passion. And a lot of people are like, we either say we forgot, or we try to pursue what used to make us happy in the past. But that's in the past. That used to make us happy then for a reason, to get us to a different place. We can't rely on what used to make us happy now, because we constantly change, and we constantly need higher frequencies, and we constantly need to raise and get up and keep moving, because everything changes and everything moves. So we got to move with it. And sometimes our personalities and everything change through time, And we just got to like upgrade at those moments. We can't downgrade and try to find out, like I'm 34 and try to find out what made me happy in my 20s, because that's not going to make me happy anymore. I might be content with it, but I'm not really going to feel happy with it, or it's not really going to push me or whatever, because there's new things out there that I need to experience, and there's new drives and new passions and new people that I want to help and everything like that. And just really feeling happy from day to day, even though I still get angry, I still, fall on my face sometimes when I'm trying to achieve different things and I'm trying to move forward. I mean, we all fall on our face. It's not going to be, if we quickly succeed and quickly get to that happiness, what happens is it's going to go away as fast as it came. We really got to work for it. That's why I said happiness isn't given, it's earned. If we keep earning our happiness and unlocking it inside us, and we keep striving in that fire and that inner flame, and that passion just keeps pushing forward, I mean, we really truly will be happy. Even when we fall on our face, we might laugh about it, because I've done it plenty of times, like, oh, that wasn't the right way to do that. There's probably 1,000 ways to do it, but that wasn't one of them. You know what I'm saying? So happiness does come from inside, but we really need to figure out how to unlock it and stop going for the quick fix that, like I used to, the drugs, the alcohol, the food, or sex, or whatever really does it in that moment, but really isn't going to last for a very long time. Because there is something inside you that needs to be opened up and really figured out, and really adapt to you, and really figure out what makes you happy. I love you all. Thank you so much for joining me today on the pursuit of happiness and shifting the paradigm. I want everybody, just remember to love yourselves and keep striving to be happy, and go to your next passion and believe that you can do it. And let's keep shifting the paradigm and stay woke.